Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a character turnaround. So in this particular case I've got this grainy looking character over here. And the first thing I want to start off by doing is just to kind of delineate the relative proportions and just go ahead and create lines that denote where the shoulder blades are, where the head is, where the waist is, the bottom of the skirt, and where the feet roughly are. And I'll also do the same thing for the hands. I'm going to go ahead and create some lines here just to serve as guidelines for me when I'm creating my turnarounds. And you can put as many lines as you need to, but the trick to remember, at least what I do, is to make sure that they're going to be meaningful lines that will help me measure out the proportions. So that's the first thing you want to do. And the second thing is you want to examine the overall shape. So it's very tempting just to go ahead and start drawing the character and to try to amass a turnaround just by starting out. But what I would say is analyze the structure of your character. In this particular case, we have a head that's kind of comprised of two shapes. It's like a complex volumetric shape. And then we have a tapered cylinder. And then we have almost like an oval shape for the upper body. And then we have another oval. These are all volumetric shapes. They're all interlocking shapes. And then we also have limbs, and these limbs attach, and they are tapered cylinders. And so I'm going to draw these shapes. And this is how we use shapes to go ahead and ensure consistency. The idea is that when you're creating a turnaround or a model sheet, you want the character to be somewhat, well, actually not somewhat, you want the character to be consistent. So we have now tapered legs, and then the feet almost have this triangular shape. So that's my analysis of this character. And I know that we have the bun and we have the ear. Sure, let's just go ahead and include that. So this is what I have, and I'm just going to move this off to the side so we can see it better. These are the basic shapes that we're going to work with. Now, what helps me when I'm doing a front view for a turnaround is to turn on the symmetry tool. And I'm using Photoshop, but other tools also have a symmetry tool. And what I'll do is I'll just move this tool over to the right so where I can see it separately. And I'll just go ahead and block out these basic shapes. So I've got this round shape here. I've got the jaw that kind of comes in. And then I've got this ellipse for the upper part of the body. And I've got another one for the lower part of the body. And I can go ahead and draw the arms. And you certainly don't need to use the symmetry tool, but I find that, if you're working digitally, why not take advantage of everything that you have? And then we've got the ears. And then lastly, we've got the feet. So this gives me the underlying volumetric structure for the front view of this character derived by taking the initial pencil drawing and breaking it down into volumetric shapes. And so in this particular case, I really don't want to worry so much about detail. So let's go ahead and hide our understudy. Let's turn off the symmetry tool and let's move this over closer to our initial drawing. So what we can do now is we're going to go ahead and take this front view and we're going to make a side view and a back view. And I'm going to put those on separate layers. So let's look at the side view. If we look at the side view, we know that a character's head is usually going to be wider when we're looking at it in the side view than it would be in the front view. So let me just go ahead and denote that. I'll just create this rough shape like this, and then we have a jawline, and we're going to extend that jaw down. And then the ears are going to be somewhere over here. And we have a neck. And then we have this, I'm going to move this over just a little bit. The neck comes in at an angle, and we'll draw the upper body. It's more or less elliptical in shape. And then we'll give her a little bit more of a backside. So that's something that's not evident in the front view, and that's something that you want to consider. So again, working with shapes, she has one of those turkey necks, so I'm going to go ahead and denote that. And then when you're drawing someone who's wearing a skirt, it's very important to kind of know what the underlying structure is of the body. So I like to draw through the form, so I'm not like guessing. And then I'll also draw a hint of the other foot, just to keep this drawing looking a little bit more dimensional. And the arms are going to socket towards the back. You know, they're not going to be right in the middle. They're going to socket towards the back. And I've seen certain turnarounds where the arm is drawn, you know, on the body in the side view. And I've also seen turnarounds where the arms are drawn separately. And it's really up to you. Normally when you're, you know, creating turnarounds for that have a detailed character, or you're creating turnarounds for, say, a toy, it's helpful to go ahead and just draw the arm separate, so that way you can see the underlying structure. It's not obscured. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and draw the arm, you know, like so. Again, just working with my basic volumetric shapes. This is how you ensure consistency with your drawing. And so now what I want to do is I want to take all of these drawings. I just want to give myself a little bit more room. So I'm just going to scoot them over. And I'll also take my original ref and I'll scoot that ref over just so I have enough room to draw. And then I'll make another third layer. And this is another trick that I like to do too. So front views and back views are very similar. So what I'll do is I'll take my front view and I'll make a copy. I'll just label this as, let me just label the layer so you can follow along. I'll call this front. I'll hit Command J to duplicate the layer, and I'll just move this off to the side, and I'll name this new layer back understudy. And I will drop the opacity of that layer, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer above this, and what I'll do here is I'll just go ahead and denote the same basic head shape. Obviously she's going to have her head bun, and this is where we see the back of the neck. So the neck is actually going to be something like this. We'll see the ear, and then you're going to see where the arms attach, since they're attached towards the back. We might see a hint of her butt. And as we lower this down, we're still going to maintain that same shape. The only difference is where we're going to place the thumbs. Because remember, the thumbs are, you know, in the front view, the thumbs are going to be closest to us, and in the back view, the thumb is going to be further away. So we'll talk about that when we get to that point, and then we're going to just draw the legs. In this case, the heels are going to touch here, and the legs are going to go out. And then we have her hair bun, which is somewhere over here. And let's just put that on the side view too. So now we have a version that we can work with, and we're not dealing with any details. We're just blocking out the shapes. So that's what I would recommend that you start out with when you're working on a turnaround. When you work with basic shapes, you can see very easily whether or not proportions are correct or maintained. Draw yourself a set of lines. I know in an earlier video we talked about how do you turn on grids, right? So if I hold down, in my case, the Command single quote key, that could also be helpful too. Use whatever tricks you've got in order to make this work. And then what I'll do from there is I will take the front and the side and the back views, and I will just group those guys into a group folder. I'll call this roughs, and then I'll drop the opacity on that. And it's from this point where I can actually start to think about details. So I'll come back in and I'll say, all right, well, her head's gonna be like this. Let me just go ahead and draw the hair parting. And again, using my lines to help me out. And then we have her ears. And she has, her lips are going to be somewhere over here. They need to line up, right? And in this case, I'll just give her that little bit of a jaw. Find the center, and then we have her nose, and then her eyes are going to droop. So you can add the details in, but make sure you establish the proportions correctly first. We'll get the bags around her eyes, and we'll give her the granny glasses. And we might see a hint of that bun behind her. And so now we're going to focus on, part of her neck will be obscured in this particular case. We'll see maybe like a hint of that. We'll see the necklace that she's wearing. And then she has this collar. So those lines are very helpful. And then she's going to have her apron. You can see where the apron ties back. And then we have her sleeves. I'll add a little bit of curvature there. And then we're going to draw her thumbs, kind of facing forward. And she's going to have a total of 5 fingers. So there's 5 fingers there. And I suppose you could use the symmetry tool for, you know, adding these details. That's entirely up to you. And we got another little mole over here, but I'm going from general to specific. I'm not, you know, super concerned about details when I first start out. If you start with details, then it becomes very easy for your character to go off model, which is basically another way of saying where it becomes more inconsistent. So I've got now, you know, the front view of our granny. Let's now make another layer, and we'll draw the side view. And the eyes in this case are going to be a little bit on the inside. Oh, I need to bring that nose down, don't I? So it's like, boom. Need to look at my own guides. And then we've got her hair part. And there's a little bit of a hint of some strands of hair. And we got her mole on her cheek. We've got that jaw that kind of protrudes out. And then we're going to draw her glasses. We might see a hint of the other glasses that are there. And we got her neck. We'll draw the hint of her arm. We'll draw the sleeve. We have her apron. So I'm adding all those fun elements that we all like to draw, the details, but that comes in after properly establishing the proportions. So now I'll move to the back view. In the back view, we see the back of her ears. We see that hair bun. And that hair kind of comes up back like this. We might see some of those strands of hair. We'll see that neck. We might see that collar that we see over here. And again, this is how I do my turnarounds. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. This is the way that I do it. And I think it might be helpful, especially when you're drawing for animation, to make sure that your characters stay on model. It's a good way to deconstruct other people's characters to see how those characters are put together. If you're trying to draw a character you've never drawn before. So here's the thumb, and there's the pinky, and there's the other fingers. Thumb, pinky, other fingers, and then, this is going to be her dress. And this is still a sketch. This is not what I would consider to be a finalized drawing, but this just gets me one step closer to getting a drawing that I can work with. So now I have a set of turnarounds for Miss Granny here, and I can hide those layers and I can see how this character is actually put together. So I hope you found this video to be informative. Let me know what you think. Thoughts and comments and feedback are always appreciated. Hopefully this demystifies the idea of working with a turnaround. I think the most important thing is that basic breakdown into volumetric shapes. Do that first before you start drawing details. And I do appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.